Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to take a look at the squad the selectors announced for the 5-match T20 International Series which India is going to play against South Africa starting from June 9. KL Rahul has been named as the captain of the squad. As we know that senior players including Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami have been rested due to workload management, and Team India expects them to be fit and ready for the one-off test that begins on July the 1st in England. So India, we cannot say that we have named a second string squad because the squad looks quite good on paper. Excellent selections have been made. Due recognition has been given to performances in the IPL, and it is an excellent chance for Team India to test its bench strength as well for the upcoming ICC T20 World Cup, which is scheduled to take place in Australia in October-November. KL Rahul is going to be the captain. Ruturaj Gaikwad is going to open with KL Rahul. Shreyas Iyer has been picked, so has Akshar Patel. Deepak Hooda has been rewarded for his consistent performances for Lucknow Super Giants. If you remember, he played 3 or 4 crucial innings for Lucknow Super Giants to get them over the line, so he has been rewarded for his consistent performance. Hardik Pandya has been named in the squad, which is an excellent news overall for Indian cricket. As we know that he went through a very troublesome period 7 to 8 months ago, and many people were written him off, but he has made a grand comeback. He has been struggling with fitness issues, injuries issues. On top of that, Mumbai Indians also didn't retain him in the auction. But good news came in the form that he was selected as captain for Gujarat Titans, and how well he has led them to their first ever title. So it is a big achievement, and as I mentioned few moments back, a very good sign for Indian cricket. We need a fit, strong, and firing Hardik Pandya, and hope as he reiterated in the interview after winning the IPL, that his next focus is the World Cup in Australia and the 2023 50-over World Cup. These are the good signs for Indian cricket, and I hope the progress of Hardik continues in upward charts from here on. Venkatesh Iyer has been selected, although he didn't quite set the IPL stage on fire, but he is a reliable, in my opinion, backup option for Hardik Pandya. As we know that Hardik straight away comes in after his performances in the IPL, and Ravindra Jadeja is also missing from the squad due to injury. So Venkatesh Iyer fills the I think he fills the substitute spot, and if India does well in the first 3 matches, that if we manage to beat South Africa, of course it is not very easy, then we can test the bench strength in the remaining two. It will be interesting to see what team combination Rahul Dravid and KL Rahul go for. Dinesh Karthik has made a comeback. I am very happy for him. It shows that age is no bar, and if we perform consistently throughout the IPL, because as we know that IPL is the best T20 tournament in the world, if we perform consistently in that, and if the hard work and right intentions, we will get a reward. This is one of his several comebacks. Many had written him off after the semi-final in 2019. He also reiterated the fact that he has given a first class cricket, not given a first class cricket from the test point of view. He's not in the Team India scheme now. He just want to play the T20 format, and he reiterated his ambition to play for India after playing a match winning knock in the IPL in the post match presentation, that it is his goal to finish on his own terms and to make India a world champions in the World Cup again. So proud of you, Dinesh Karthik, and I also hope that your progress continues in the upward trend. Ishan Kishan has been given a run by Team India for by the selector. Sorry, as we know that he didn't quite set the stage alight in the IPL, but he is a proven talent. He is a natural talent, and he needs to be given as much opportunities as possible. And it is just a matter of time. Once he gets into the groove and plays that one big innings, he will come into his own. So we need to keep a patience with him. Rishabh Pant, last quite few weeks haven't been good to him because of the review of Tim David and all the sort of stuff he has been going through. But as we know, he is a class player. His batting ability should not be questioned by anyone. Although he plays with a lower strike rate for Delhi Capitals for the past 2 seasons. That has been the role given to him by Ricky Ponting. But I expect him to play more fearlessly for India. That brings out the best in him, which ultimately serves both the interest of him and Team India as well. Arshdeep Singh has been rewarded for his consistent performances, as we know that he can nail down Yorkers at will, and there was a slight disadvantage, or I can say a flaw in his bowling, that in the previous seasons he would bowl 4 or 5 good deliveries, but on the last delivery or just one bad delivery in the over which would cost him 4 or 6, and that would ruin his over. This time he didn't do that, and as we can remember, in one match he also gave Kagiso Rabada some advice on how to keep the Yorkers pretty tight. So it is very good sign for Indian cricket. Avesh Khan has been rewarded for his consistent performances for Lucknow Super Giants, so he is an option for India to develop as well. Although I currently think that he is a good option in test matches, but giving him experience in T20 is also very vital, as we know our talent pool is so wide. So it will be a problem of plenty for the selectors, but but I would say that selectors would like to have that problem instead of not having it. Harshal Patel has been rewarded for its good and excellent performance since the last 2 seasons for RCB, 2021 and 2022. Also, he bowled effectively. He bowls the slower balls pretty nicely. That is his strength. He also has the Yorker, and he also can bounce out the batsman whenever required. So he is a good asset to have. Kuldeep Yadav makes a comeback, as we know that he also had a pretty torrid time over the past 12 months. It's so nice to see him, and the team management has shown faith in him. And even though sometimes when it's not his day, he goes for runs, but on his day he can be pretty lethal and can win matches single-handedly. Ravi Bishnoi also had a tremendous outing for Lucknow Super Giants, but I'm not sure that how much game time he will get. Selectors will most probably stick with Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal, or even one of them, because that depends on the team combinations. Umran Malik, the pace sensation who has taken the IPL by storm this year, and has been making headlines all around the cricketing world for his raw and exciting pace, gets a look in. I think it is an excellent move by the selectors to blood him in straight away. As we know that not many bowlers around the world can bowl 150 plus, and those who bowl are instantly in the national team. For example, Lockie Ferguson is there, Kagiso Rabada is there, but I think he's not consistently bowling at 150, but his speed is there and there about above 145. So and it will inspire a lot of youngsters from Jammu and Kashmir region, so that they have a great future in India, and it sends a wider message as well that believe in India. There is a chance if you perform well, and I hope Umran Malik sets the stage alight, and he should be given maximum chances in the 5-match ODI series. That depends on the team management as well, but he will be given a debut, and I think he will set the stage alight. I wish him all the best, because a lot is riding on Umran as well, and he can be an X factor on those Australian pitches in October. As we saw that he dismissed many foreign batsmen which are accustomed to playing the short ball and fast bowling pretty well, like Matthew Wade, I remember, and many other foreign batsmen who were caught napping with his raw pace. And there is one thing, that raw pace excites us everybody in this game. That is a facet that has been missing from fast bowler since from India since a lot of time, but once Virat became the test captain, it has changed. So now, but nobody bowls quite as fast as Umran. He 157.1 kmph, it was his deliveries, a couple of deliveries above 156 and well, and consistently there and there about above 150 his speed was producing. So it is these are ominous signs for opposition batsmen if Umran Malik gets his length right. Although sometimes he can be pretty expensive, but that is the risk that we have to take. But he is the superstar of the future, and we must play in game. And to round it off, the purple cap holder Yuzvendra Chahal, so happy for him as well. As we know that Kulcha is not consistently playing all the games. Even if they have one bad game, they were benched continuously. So it is good for his confidence as well. He was not in the very good mood that RCB didn't retain him. I think there was a lack of communication on both sides, but that is not the topic of discussion in this video. He cultivated his skills in death overs as well, so that is a pretty hard bowling, pretty hard time for any bowlers. But as we know that many years he has played at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, where the ground is pretty small and it is like a deathbed for bowlers. He has just cultivated his skills there, so there is no doubt about his class, and there shouldn't be any doubt about his class. There is just a question of confidence which Rajasthan Royals management gave him. He also took a memorable hat-trick against Kolkata Knight Riders, so all is looking well for Yuzvendra Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav as well. We have to manage them effectively. We have to manage Kuldeep effectively more than Chahal, because once there is a dip in his form, it tends to go very downwards for him pretty quickly. But once his form is up, he can single-handedly win us the match. So excellent selection by the team management. And there have been many queries on why Rituraj Gaikwad has been selected and not Shikhar Dhawan, despite performing pretty well for Punjab Kings. Rahul Dravid himself took the call and informed selectors that we should look at youngsters now. Hence, Ruturaj Gaikwad, or for that matter, Ishan Kishan, have been preferred despite Shikhar Dhawan scoring prolific runs in the IPL, and Rahul Dravid himself had conveyed this to Shikhar Dhawan. So there has been a part of communication, and why Shikhar hasn't been selected despite performing well. We are looking towards youth, and although it is a bitter pill to swallow for Shikhar Dhawan, it is what it is. The same message was given to Rahul Dravid by Vrithiman Saha, and sometimes we need to take tough calls for the sake of the benefit of team and to look at the future planning. So it is harsh on Shikhar. He performed pretty well, but we have to look at the future and respect the call. I'm sure Shikhar has taken it sportingly, as he always does. He's a great gentleman, and I wish Shikhar all the best. And maybe if he continues to perform hard, he will get a look into the T20 team as well. So good all-round selection, and I hope in now I'm a pretty biased towards Team India, but I hope we round South Africa final. Even if we lose some matches or the series, it shouldn't be looked as the end of the world, because IPL is just over and we are figuring out the players too, which will fly to Australia for the T20 World Cup. So we need to show a bit of patience. But on paper, I think we should win the series against South Africa. So how did you like my analysis of the team? Please tell in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, everyone, goodbye.